Okay. It looks like we're rolling. Yes. Okay. So this, hold on. That's you, Taurus, right there. Okay. This is Terra Illumination. Over here, this is your general report, like a broad spiritual perspective, going deep into the heart, drilling deep. And it's for the August 2018 season. Before we get into it, I just want to have a few little like cocktails and hors d'oeuvres together with some of the Terra Illumination Astrodoodles here, and then we can get into some cards. I know that's what you're here for. So, August is a potentially very challenging month for everybody, but especially Leos and Aquarians and Scorpios and Taurians, okay? For multiple reasons. We can't do deep, heavy astrology readings here. So I just wanted to give you a little, let me just do this. Just give you a little overview. So first of all, remember, coming out of July, right at the tippy end, we had that Leo Aquarius full moon eclipse, and that was very, very challenging for a lot of people. Well, for everybody, but especially you guys, because you're kind of at the pivotal point here of that T-square, July 27th. That was the full moon eclipse right here, home and career, career and home, self, the self, the person, and loosely with significant other, like your partner, your spouse, your some people say we're open enemies. Okay, so this was a very, very challenging eclipse for you guys, and for the next 2 weeks into the middle of August, in fact, August the 11th. There's going to be a lot of integrating that has to happen while you absorb the aftershocks of what culminated here at the end of July. So please allow for that. And the point we're going to focus on here is the eclipse in the middle of the month. Here it is, Taurus, August for 2018. It's the new moon eclipse, August 11th in Leo, and it's in your fourth house. So think of this as like a ticking clock calendar moment. There's before the eclipse and after the eclipse. Also, it can help to think of the eclipses as like a sort of spiritual gateway. Similarly, like you might find as if you're going through TSA or customs and immigration at an international airport, where it is very serious stuff. There's the before, and then there's the transition phase as you go through it, and then the coming out afterwards. So I just want to add that, like with the eclipses, we would ask, what is being eclipsed away from you? What is being eclipsed into your life? And how it's affecting the foundations of your life. Look at the subject matters here, typically for the fourth house: home, family, place of safety, security, place of nurture, place of childhood, place of sense of foundations of everything else in your life that emanates from there, place of your loved ones where you share that with others, place where you sleep, the place where you find stability or not. It could be very unstable. We'll see. But the point is that you probably got seriously rattled already. Like, what is your mission and purpose in this world? How does it affect your home? Well, you're going to find out a lot more by the end of August after you get through this eclipse, okay? So please give yourself, be very patient and kind with yourself as you move into the eclipse, and then coming out of the eclipse. What is, I often think of like, please angels, please heaven, bring to me that which is mine. Please take away that which is not mine. Okay? And you can also like insulate yourself by making it like a statement. Whatever is mine comes to me, whatever is not mine moves away, and so be it. And then allow that to happen. The worst thing you could do is fight it. So please allow for that. And of course, it's happening with the background bit of like you becoming a new person. You've just started this brand new 7-year journey here with Uranus and Taurus, and it's being opposed right now for the next few months by Jupiter and Scorpio. So that is a lot of pressure, okay, on you, Taurus, in many different ways, okay? So it would be okay for you to feel like you're wigged out, okay? Let's not dwell on that too much. This is not an astrology channel. I'm just adding some color to the reading so you can get some perspective. Here we go. So cards were well shuffled in advance, okay? But we like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. Please bring your invisible friends here. Make this a team effort. It's spread around. It's fun for them. They like doing it, and it especially works properly when it's by invitation. Do not take them for granted. They are there and they love you very, very deeply, but it makes a tremendous difference when you form a conscious, deliberate relationship with your invisible friends like that. That's what we do here at Terra Lumination. Otherwise, we couldn't do Terra Lumination. So that's just how it is. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Sorry about that. It's hard enough to do this just as it is. So also the other thing, watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different, and then reinterpret everything to suit yourself, okay? We're going to use this beating heart kind of journey of the heart spread here in a moment. You'll see what we're talking about. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. Let's just get into it, okay? I just need to feel secure with the cards. Okay. All right, here we go. So bless these cards, bless this deck, bless this reading, bless you, Taurus, bless Terra Lumination and all the internet and the cables and the cameras and computers and everything that makes this happen, okay? We're very, very lucky to be able to do this at all. I hope you understand that. So here's core heart energy, okay? At the very, very core of you, the heart needs what it needs, it wants what it wants, and it's doing everything it can for you, okay? It's taking all the toxins away where they need to go, and it's adding all the nutrients where they need to go, such as life, okay? What are you bringing in with you? So it's very important that you understand that, Taurus, and stay tuned into it. Stay very, very close to your heart energy. You know, there's all the other stuff like mental stuff, your ambitions, your desires, your limbic system, your natural habits, whatever it is. But this connection is absolutely number one vital. Love thyself, okay? What are you bringing in with you? Are you still shaking and rattling from the eclipses? Are you dealing with more like high pressure squeezed energies that are caused by the eclipses, as opposed to just like sensing the eclipses? Are you getting really impacted in like turbulent ways? Are you riding the waves? Are you on top of this stuff? So over here is the ever-present now. This is a place where a lot of people want to be all the time, because it requires immense presence to be here, grounded, present, conscious, and here, to the point where, yes, you do have a past. Yes, there is a future, but what counts right now is now, because this is where you own your power, and you own your power by accessing this amazing faculty we have called decision making. And that is over here. It's the healing power of our decisions. What decisions are you making to love thyself? Okay, in these circumstances, day by day, minute by minute, because you know this is just one doodle, but this is constantly in a state of flux, and all these energies do affect you. You know how the moon affects Earth. You know how the moon affects all the times. Just imagine all the other planets. They have their own version of the same thing. So please allow for that, okay? Somebody wrote in the other day, very, very adamant that planets have absolutely nothing to do with their life, and they are in full command and control of their life. Well, yeah, sure, so long as you're making decisions to love thyself accordingly, and then it doesn't really matter what the planets are doing. I just have to observe the planets, because if I don't, I fall out of alignment very, very quickly. That's why I pay attention. So how do you make these decisions effectively, so that you are constantly kind of in the flow, always making decisions that are most optimized for you, to love thyself, because love thyself is best, what's best for you, which is best for your loved ones who are around you, which is best for your aura, and best for the whole world around you. So you generate consequences through your decisions. Decisions have outcomes. So what does that look like when you're having a rough day, or you feel overwhelmed by the energies around you, your circumstances, people, home, relationships, finances, whatever it might be? Your shifting, changing core identity, whatever that is, and it freaks you out to the point where you're making like self-defeating decisions. What does that look like? On the other hand, what about when you are in your power and you are making decisions to consciously, deliberately love thyself, which can often mean extending yourself beyond your existing comfort zones in order to love thyself? What does that look like? It's the same card, but just the shadow side and the light side, or the one side and another side. No positive, no negative. Over here, momentum for the next beat of the heart. Go into super slow mode. It's like it's always pumping the nutrients in and the goodness and the love back to you, removing all the toxins away from you and out. So all that's happening in your life is an expanded version of what's happening here. So it's incredibly important to keep in alignment with this and optimize this over here. So can you see the heart shape there? I hope you can. It's the very core, and out here would be your aura. Okay. So it's important to take care of this, love thyself, because it affects the whole world. Okay. Over here, let's have a look. This is circumstantial energy, environmental energy. Think of it as the weather. It's just there. So we deal with it. Okay. So you have the you had the Ten of Pentacles, Taurus. What's going on? What is going on with you? Maybe you are in a situation where you realized you're looking around you, like no matter how shocking and stressful and tumultuous all of this ecliptic energy might be, I have a feeling that you're aware of the bounty, of the goodness of it all, despite the challenges. In other words, the challenges are there for, like, for you to chew on. You know how a dog chews on a bone? It keeps them like alive. They have a wet nose, their jaws are exercised, the saliva is flowing, the teeth are getting clean. It's like, ang, 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 ang. I feel that this is really, really good. And through the challenges, and through all the extreme challenges of these dynamics here, you become aware of how incredibly fortunate you are in terms of family and the ones who deeply, deeply love you, whether it's a single individual, whether it's a group of individuals, whatever it is, the bounty and the wealth of family and your home and the world around you, nature, land, sky, plants, animals, the physical, deep physical realities of your life, okay? The people around you, they have bodies too, just like you. And their bodies are morphing and changing just like you. As you evolve, so they evolve. So, okay, you can also include pets. Look, there we go. Woof, woof. So, whoever and whatever they are. So I have a feeling you're aware of this. Perhaps you're taking stock of this. Maybe you're evaluating your surroundings, evaluating what is it that you truly value? What is it that is what you consider that has substance? How do you define value? How do you define wealth? How do you define abundance? And looking around you, seeing all these, let's say, indicators of abundance, but also whatever is not abundant. You have to be aware of that, because with the eclipses, whatever is not yours, it will be eclipsed away. Whatever is coming to you will come to you, eclipsed into your life. It's happened simultaneously. So you can probably expect some very, very, very deep shift happening in the foundations of your life, home, the place of home with your people. And how does that affect you in the world? Who are you sharing that with? Who's sharing that with you? How is this morphing? It's way too early to tell, but it is radical shifting, and it's happening at the very, very deep levels of tectonic plates, okay? It's not just like, putting new paint in your kitchen or living room. It's a complete and utter shift at the level of tectonic plates. So let's have a look. What's going on at the core heart here? Okay, to me, well, with the Ten of Swords, it feels to me like it's almost like a final moment here. Things coming to rest. You might be deeply frightened about what's happening in terms of culmination, like all the abundance around you, and perhaps the sense of impending tragedy or loss of whatever you love or loved, as the new and the good and the abundant unfolds. So it could be radical shifts here. And it feels to me like the heart is saying, it's okay. It's okay. You can't hurt me any more than I'm hurting already. We've already reached rock bottom. And that's good to know. It's very, 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 very humbling energy. And I think your heart is trying to tell you, hey, Taurus, it's okay. We've been through ultimate pain together. We have suffered the ultimate in abuse, self-abuse, suffering, sabotage, maliciousness, violence, uh, corruption, uh, hatred, self-undoing, every single possible negative experience you could have, like a shadow thing, and your heart is saying, look, there's still a new life ahead. Can you see it in the distance? Because I do, and I need you to know this, okay? Okay? And so your response hopefully would be something like, dear, dear heart of Taurus, I do understand you. I agree. We have endured massive pain and suffering, and we are entering a whole radical new shift and change chapter of our life history coming up, to the point where I would call it a complete change in lifestyle package deal. Like, one thing is expiring and a new thing is beginning. The old is being eclipsed out, the new is being eclipsed in, and it's happening right now. Okay? Of course, this doesn't happen overnight. This goes on for months. This might have years of ripple effect. I know this is just one little reading for August, but I think it is a very, very pivotal month for a lot of Taurian people in their life. If you put this as a calendar moment, August the 11th, 2018, then maybe years down the road, you will remember this little tiny reading and understand the the enormity of what is happening to you in your life. Okay? So do not be scared of this card, okay? However scary it looks, do not be scared of it. Your heart is not scared of it. Your heart is already surrendered. Your heart is already accepting and already moving on. Your heart is already in the eclipse mode, living through it and allowing the old to die away and the new to be born. Okay, what are you bringing in with you? Pretend you're in a meeting. Pretend we're just hanging out and you just showed up and this is a coffee shop and we're doing a live coffee shop reading and you're just there. It's not a couple's reading or anything. It's just you, Taurus, hanging out with Tarot Lumination. What do you got? Okay, cool. Okay, my feeling is that you probably know this already. You probably know that you probably know every nuance of pain and suffering, trauma, chaos, like near-death situations, being on the receiving end of so much pain and abuse, having no options except to deal with it and live through it. But that can generate tremendous wisdom and foster new love and new growth. Okay, the way that diamonds are made, how dirt and carbon is crushed and crushed and crushed in incredibly painful ways that result in a diamond. So my feeling is that you're coming in here into August knowing that you have great value around you, some way, somehow, other. But how is that going to be integrated? How is that going to be like crushed and dissolved and turned into the new life that's surrounding you? Like this goes through like a mincer and comes out like that again. But it's a new version of this. And you know that already. And you've already made a decision that you're going to extract anything and everything of value that you have known and leave anything and everything that has no value in terms of pain and suffering, that no longer belongs to you, that you don't deserve. And that is, you need to leave that behind. And you're going to invest in a future in such a way with a very different perspective going forward, where you put yourself first, understanding that it is your life, your journey, and it's all about this, and you deserve this, and you can have this, because the raw ingredients are already there around you. But it's up to you to live through it and reconfigure everything. So what about now? More pentacles. Look at that. In the present right now, this feels very, very appropriate for me as your reader. Again, please don't be scared of this, because I think what's happening is as you go through the eclipses, you become shockingly, profoundly aware of like what value means to you and how you are changing and morphing and how you are valued by others and how you value others and how much, let's say, perhaps you have lost because of all of this. And that will be gone forever. Okay, sometimes we go through parts of life where we have to accept and realize that things are lost, gone, broken forever. There is no retrieval. Maybe you can deal with it if it's a spiritual issue in another lifetime, but in terms of our physical three-dimensional life, tick tock, tick tock. Time moves on. So your body, physical body, might be acutely aware of everything that you are losing, because you're going to feel it. You're going to know it some way, somehow or other. You're going to sense it deep in the tectonic plates of your own body. You're going to sense what you are losing and leaving behind, and you are going to sense what is coming to you. And you're going to be aware of all the decisions that you made, and how you are a participant. You are part of the equation of loss. You are part of the equation of pain here. But that's not the end of the world. You're very, very determined to move on and start from scratch again, almost like a complete remodeling job, taking all the good ingredients out of your life, your home, your place on this earth, and doing a complete remodel, being very, very aware and graceful and humbly aware of any mistakes that you've made with relationships, chosen ones who've chosen you, the ones that you have chosen to be with, and the sense of impoverishment and loss that might come, that is sort of inevitable when you eclipse out of one lifestyle and into a new lifestyle. But I don't see any judgment here. There might be sorrow, but again, it's the same kind of sorrow like when a pet dies. Okay, it just happens. And yeah, sure, you can go to a taxidermist and kind of like relive the past, but sometimes it's better just to accept the pain and the loss and the suffering, do the grieving and move on, and just keep them close to your heart. Over here, let's have a look, because it's in this energy here. It feels to me a bit like the energy of concerned about, because Taurus for you, stability is so, so important. Financial, material, physical stability, especially in the home, the land, the family, and all that. Your physical, material surroundings, finances, everything. It would be appropriate for you to be very concerned, like, what am I gaining? What am I losing here? Who am I gaining? Who am I losing? Where? When? What does this mean for me in my life down the road, my mission, my career, my destiny on earth? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So it's okay to have like huge currents of fear flowing through you in those matters, because it's inevitable. Just imagine again, you're back at the immigration, customs and immigration, and it could be very, very scary when you go up to all those scanners and those guys in uniform and desks, and very, very powerful laws that they can activate. Uh, you know, and you don't even know what you've done wrong, or you don't even know what's on the other side, but you know you're going through, so it can be very scary. Okay, I got to keep moving. I'm taking too long here, pardon me. So making these decisions in this condition is kind of intimidating. Okay, but with the King of Wands here, to me, this is closely aligned with the Page of Pentacles, in that you're going to put your best foot forward. You're going to take everything that you know, everything that you've learned about what is good in your life already, everything that you know that you value deeply and that others value in you very deeply, and you're going to move forward with all the confidence anyway, conducting yourself with the highest levels of self-respect, command, inspiration to others. It's almost like if Taurus can get through this, then anybody can get through this. And with the King of Wands here, it would be like other people would be watching you and saying like, oh my gosh, like, because everybody is going through their own eclipse thing, and they're probably all as terrified as you. You might be more terrified than anybody, but it's up to you, knowing that you have to make the decisions to move forward in full self-respect, dignity, mastery, inspiring, to the point where you are an inspiration to others. Okay, it's a very, very self-loving thing to do, conducting yourself with total confidence that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And you know it, and you're proceeding anyway. How do you do that effectively? Okay, very, very, very carefully. Balancing, always like juggling, balancing the physical realities moment by moment as you go along. Being very, very careful not to destroy the good stuff, and being very, very careful to extract the good stuff. Being very, very careful to allow what is no longer to just disappear and live its own life, to fade away, die away as the new stuff begins. like starting a brand new life, literally, physically, materially, financially, in terms of home, and wherever that leads. Like, so that would generate consequences. Okay. Um, okay, I'm putting a really optimistic spin on this, but it is actually this is actually very challenging, and it's going to require your maximum, uh, your highest levels of belief in self, belief in your right to be your fullest, most bountiful, wealthiest self in terms of what everybody would love to have in their lives, everything, the people that you love, the people who love you, and all the abundance that goes with that. Okay? It's hard to do because it's affecting you. It's affecting you right here at the very core foundation. So I understand your trepidation here. Don't worry, but you're dealing with it, okay? You deal with it by moving one tiny step at a time. Uh, with confidence and with majesty. Okay, generating consequences. Kerblam! Yes, I'm so happy to see this because what it feels like is liberation. Imagine how scary it is when you're coming up to the customs and immigration. You know you've got everything right. You know you've got everything good going for you, but you don't know what they're going to be scanning you for. I mean, you can read all the notices and stuff, but typically those people can scan very, very, very deep. And if they find things that are no longer appropriate, then that's what will be called out. So it's understandable to feel a little bit intimidated. But the beauty is that by maintaining your aura, your strength, your dignity, your self-respect, despite the challenges here, you come out the other side like, whew, I made it. After they frisked you, after they pulled you aside and brought 4 officers to interview you, they did those like highly invasive searches. They wanded you, they took off your shoes, they emptied everything, they checked all your paperwork, and you're cleared. You're cleared to go. Thank you very much. Sorry, dear person. Sorry we had to be really tough on you, but you're a Taurus and you're going through a lot and you're showing all the symptoms of someone who's gone through a lot. Perhaps you were sweating profusely when you came up to the inspection room and we thought, uh-oh, signal, watch that. So it's redemption. It's absolute redemption. What happens to me? It feels like you get forgiven and you get to forgive others. In other words, if there's a potential trauma as you shift from one side of the eclipse to the other side, perhaps senses of loss here, it doesn't matter because you are forgiven. You are forgiven. You will be forgiven. It also requires you to forgive anyone and everything else for all the past traumas because it's nothing to do with you anymore. It's almost like this is what made you. This is what built you. And if you can handle this, you can handle anything. So it's an incredibly pivotal, important chapter in Taurian lives right now, this calendar moment. And the aftershocks from here are going to reverberate for weeks and months to come. So to me, it feels like you create this consequence of liberation, of freedom, of having a chance to be redeemed and start a whole new life again without any sense of debt or grudges or resentment or any kind of hangovers from the past. It's like you are free to go. You are completely free to live your new life. What happens if you lose your confidence? Okay, well, you basically end up wallowing in like, oh, it coulda, woulda, shoulda, oh no, and then you try to squirm back. It's like you're trying to squirm back and hide behind the security gates, unwilling to go through the security gates and the inspections and the TSA people. But when that just creates misery, you just end up recycling this moment over and over again, lifetime after lifetime. Might as well deal with it right now, this lifetime. So when you are in your majesty, your full, most inspiring self, radiant self to others, and you act accordingly, responsibly, sensibly, step by step, then you come out. My feeling is that you come out with a shift knowing that you have this in front of you and it's just there. It's waiting for you to grab it, but you're going to have to come out of the aftershock of the eclipses and very, very gently refocus all your attention onto what matters most, which is love. Love thyself. Be loving, be loved. Okay? So it's like inevitable here. That's how it feels. It's like a natural consequence. Okay, let's have a look at some momentum here. Wow. Oh gosh, look at this. Uh, Taurus, what I'm feeling here is that this is like, this is kind of in some ways a very, very scary, painful potential, but it also looks very bountiful. And that when you come out the other side and things start to settle down, you realize you do have it all, but it's in a completely different format than you've ever known before because everything's being reconfigured and you come out with almost more than you know what to do with. And it's like, it's kind of like having the resources you need for your so-called future. The resources, the abundance, the respect, self-respect, deep self-respect, and the respect of others. There's no judgment. There's no like brutal, ugly hangovers about the past having gone through these eclipses. It is gone, okay? And a new life emerges here, and it is good, okay? That's what I'm sensing for you, Taurus. It's just that you have to live through this, all right? There you go. Let's leave it at that. That's more than enough for now. I hope I didn't scare you or anything like that, but you can handle it. You're very, very tough, all right? So thank you so much for visiting Tarot Illumination. All the best in August. Bye-bye.